We'll move to law and licensing. Chair Lear.
Vice Chair Davis, I did not see a vote by Board Member Earl.
Oh, Board Member Earl.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Chair Lear. You're muted.
Moving to item 12.2, no, that doesn't make sense on my page. Just a minute. Let's see, advisory groups. We'll go with 12.1. The motion for the board is that the committee moves that the board approve board policies 1004 advisory groups draft 3.
Thank you. There's a motion on the floor that the board approves board policy 1004 advisory groups draft 3. Seeing no hands, please vote. It appears to me that that motion passes with Board Member Hart and Board Member Hymas opposed. Is that correct?
That's what I see.
Okay, thank you. Chair Lear.
Item 12 or 12.2, board policy 2004, board member communications. The committee discussed this and we were unable to pass anything out of committee, so I have no motion. We just as a point of information, it's on our agenda, the Law and Licensing Committee tomorrow, and I think we will have something to bring to you next month. So moving on to item 12.3. This is board policy 5003, student data policy advisory groups. The motion for the board is to approve board policy 5003, student data privacy advisory group, draft 1 on second and final reading.
Thank you. There is a motion on the floor as stated. Board Member Earl.
Yeah, I would like to make an amendment. And it's on E, and it's to strike the word not. So that's all it is strike the word not. If you want to pull that up on E, keep going to, sorry, E, 2E. So it's on page, I'm on page 2, I believe. Right above 3.
There is no 2E.
What am I looking at then? Let me just double check, make sure I'm looking at the right. Draft 3, is it a different draft that was approved?
There was just one draft approved for this. Excuse me, Chair.
Draft 1.
Thinking.
Oh, sorry, I clicked on draft 2. Just one moment. I mean, draft 3, sorry. So I'm sorry, I apologize. We're looking at draft 1. Is that what was moved out of committee?
There's only one draft.
Am I looking at the wrong?
I think you might be
Are you looking at the student data privacy advisory group?
I think you might be looking at the wrong policy.
Oh, I'm looking at advisory group, not student data. Apologies.
An option for LEAs.
Do you have an amendment for this one that we're on, the student data privacy?
No, I do not. I don't.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion on the floor. Let me just double check, make sure I don't miss any hands in the meantime. Okay, we have a motion on the floor that the board approves board policy 5003, draft 1. Please vote. I see that passes unanimously. Chair Lear.
Item 12.4, R277-612, Foreign exchange students, this was just a continuation discussion. The committee moves that the board continue R277-612, foreign exchange students draft 1 on second and final reading.
Thank you. There's a motion on the floor that the board continues R277-612 draft 1 on second and final reading. Seeing no hands, please vote. I see that this passes unanimously. Chair Lear?
Item 12.5 is a discussion or a motion about R277-613, LEA policies and training regarding bullying, cyberbullying, hazing, retaliation, and abusive conduct for amendment and continuation. The committee's motion is that the board continues and approves R277-613 LEA policies and training regarding bullying, cyberbullying, hazing, retaliation, and abusive conduct draft 4 on second and final reading.
There's a motion on the floor that the board approves R277-613 draft 4 on second and final reading. Board Member Hymas?
Yeah, I'd like to move that the board adopt draft 5.
There's a motion on the floor. Would this be considered an amendment or a substitute motion?
Probably a substitute, I would think.
Okay. We have a substitute motion on the floor that the board adopt draft 5 of R277-613. Would that still be on second and final reading?
Yes.
Would you like to speak to your motion?
Yes, please. We had some good discussion on this. We made some amendments in the committee. Afterwards, it was pointed out that staff didn't feel like they had a good amount of time to kind of express some things. So after some conversation and some different back and forth, we have just added a few things in. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to look at draft 5. But I find personally that it does still achieve the goals that or the concerns that it answers the concerns that I had with a couple of the other drafts, and I hope that it helps out the staff as well. So I think draft 5 is a good medium that works well with staff and works well with LEAs.
Thank you. Chair Lear, did you have a comment on that?
Yes, I just want the board to know that I absolutely support draft 5 and that I really appreciated that the staff didn't just let this go because we had some misunderstanding and we probably didn't allow them enough time to explain some of their proposed changes, and agree with board member Hymas expressly that the language we came up with jointly was a lot better, but it also satisfied the very practical concerns that Matt brought to the table.
Thank you. Seeing no other hands, we have a motion on the floor that the board approves R277-613 draft 5 on second and final reading. Please vote.
Chair, we don't have a second on that.
Now we gotta get a second.
Second.
Thank you, Board Member Hart. Still seeing no hands, please vote. That appears to pass unanimously. Chair Lear.
The last item was item 12.6, school libraries. Had a very interesting and thorough discussion of this. With that, the committee moves that the board approves R277-628 school libraries draft 3 on second and final reading.
Thank you. We have a motion on the floor that the board approves R277-628 draft 3 on second and final reading. Discussion to the motion, Board Member Earl.
I don't know. Well, this isn't with this, so when we get done with this item, can I please just make a comment or motion?
It's not on this, I'm not on this one. Okay, Board Member Cannon.
Thank you. I noticed in prepping for the meeting that there is a draft 3, which is what we're being asked to vote on now, that ends rather abruptly. And then they've also added a draft 4. So could you explain to me the thought process behind move forward with draft 3 and then also having on there a draft 4?
Earlier.
Yes, thank you for that question. Member Klein brought forth a draft 4 that was discussed in the committee, but was not accepted by the committee, and the numbering may seem a little strange, but draft 3 was actually also a different draft than had been previously discussed, and the committee in the end approved draft 3.
Thank you. That's helpful.
Thank you, Board Member Cannon. Seeing no other hands, there's a motion on the floor that the board approves R277-628 draft 3 on second and final reading. Please vote. That passes with Board Member Klein opposed.
That completes our report. Thank you.
Board Member Earl, did you vote?
Yes, I do have I guess I need to ask to have the one brought back up.
Sorry,
an
did you vote
amendment.
on? Sorry.
Yes, I did.
Earl,
You want me to vote again?
no, I just didn't see it. As long as Laura or someone got it. Okay, so sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I had an amendment, and I guess I wasn't really considering that was a substitute motion. I was thinking it was an amendment on draft 5. And because of that, I didn't move my amendment at that time. I guess I need to ask for reconsideration of 613, R277-613.
Okay, Chair Huntsman, does that need to be requested to go back on the agenda, or can we vote for a reconsideration?
Well, you can bring it, you can bring back a motion if you're on the prevailing side of that motion.
Were you on the prevailing side of that motion, Board Member Earl?
Yes,
And then,
yes.
so it's a motion with a second, and then the group votes to bring it back.
Okay, we have a motion of reconsideration for board policy. Is it the advisory board one?
No, it's 613.
Okay,
To bring back the,
is that the LEA policies and training? The bullying one is 6-1.
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor for reconsideration of R277-613 draft 4 on second and final reading. Do we have a second?
so I think the motion was 5, was that correct? Sorry, that passed, wasn't it, Pat? Wasn't it?
Draft 5 was what passed.
So to state it correctly, sorry.
I'll second it.
Draft 5, sorry, thank you. To bring back R277-613 draft 5 on second and final reading. We have a second from Board Member Klein. Please vote. Or actually, we need to discuss, right? Discussion for reconsideration.
And
Oh, go ahead.
I guess it would be talking a little bit to this amendment, but this is just articulating the law that's in place. As I went back to the law.
Wait 1 second. This one's just voting to reconsider.
Yes,
Okay.
that's great.
First, we need to vote to reconsider, and then we'll go back to speeches about the are you talking about reconsidering? Board Member Earl?
I'm reconsidering would have each piece of the law be in there, and this one is not in there as well. We tidied this up to have all pieces of the law.
Okay, please vote.
This is to bring it back, correct?
Correct. I'm seeing one.
I didn't see Member Straight and Hymus, sorry.
Yes, some people haven't voted.
I guess I'm confused.
This is voting to reconsider the agenda item for the bullying rule. That means we bring it back up and discuss it again. So I show that this Chair Belknap, can you help me? Can you see the list? Mine is moving.
Sorry, I see that it passes with no votes by Board Member Hymus, Board Member Lear, Board Member Belknap, and Board Member Straight.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't see Chair Huntsman's vote.
Oh. It's
You
been
voted
up.
yes.
That was a yes.
Okay, so there you go.
Okay, so do you have,
Okay, now it's on the table.
so now do we need to have Chair Lear make the motion again?
No.
Okay,
So what's on the table is what comes back is not a total do-over. It's what's on the table is R277613 draft 5
okay.
is on the table.
Board Member Earl?
Yes, and let me state
So
the
do you have a
law.
proposed motion?
I would like to propose the motion. I would like to make the motion to add or amendment, inform parents they are not prohibited from seeking redress under any other provision of civil or criminal law. And that is, I can give you the code for, well, anyways, I gotta have a second, then I give you the code. Second.
Have that language of that motion up in writing. I don't know who's driving. Oh, we do.
It's right there.
We have
And
a
it just,
on the floor to inform parents that they are not prohibited from seeking redress under any other provisions of civil or criminal law after line 278 of draft 5. Do we have a second?
second.
Board Member Klein is a second. Discussion to the motion, Chair Lear.
I don't support this. There are so many things that parents could be informed of that they're not prohibited from in every single rule. And I just think it's unnecessary to expect that that's going to happen in this specific rule. I see that as beg to differ, Member Earl. It's not just a tidying up. It is an item that is one of probably 50 that parents are not prohibited doing about this particular rule. And I don't think it's necessary, and it also is one more burden on administrators who are trying to deal with this problem as efficiently and fairly as possible.
Thank you. Board Member Earl, your hand is still up. Did you have a follow-up comment?
Well, do you want me to give final comment or comment now? I guess that's my,
Well,
Question.
your hand is up, so, and you were next in line, so I.
okay. So in the rule itself, it does say if we're, that we would inform parents of the investigation, inform parents that what safety measures, provide additional information, inform parents of appeal options. It would seem that the law indicates that nothing in this part referring specifically to that they can be allowed for any legal redress, seeking redress under any other provisions of civil or criminal law. That it doesn't seem like that is a stretch, nor is it weighty that this would be implemented there. And so I think it just follows the course of the other items that are there. So I would encourage you to vote for this amendment.
Thank you. Seeing no other hands, there is a motion on the floor to add, inform parents that they are not prohibited from seeking redress under any other provisions of civil or criminal law after line 278 of draft 5. Please vote. I see that this motion does not pass with board members Belknap, Klein, and Earl for. Is that what you see, Vice Chair Belknap?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Chair Lear, I think we finished the end. We'll go ahead and turn the time to Chair Hansen for standards and assessment.
I actually, sorry to interrupt, but I would like to bring another one back for reconsideration. Policy 1004.
Were you on the prevailing vote?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I think I thought she voted no. I thought Natalie voted no on that. Just if you'll double check.
I voted
Someone
yes.
who-
I thought it was unanimous.
The votes.
There
Member,
was 2 no votes and I wasn't one of them.
Okay,
member Hart.
Matt and I voted, Hymus and Hart voted no.
all right, great.
Oh, that's right.
Just checking.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor that the board bring back policy 1004 draft 3. We have a second.
Second.
Board member Earl, second. Would you like to speak to that, board member Klein?
There was the part that Jenny was that she tried to come back and amend after she missed the opportunity that I also had concerns with, and would like to have that discussed, taking out the not there on 2E.
Board member Earl?
If nothing else, I'd at least like to be able to change my vote. Like I said, I got the policies mixed up on which one was first.
Sure. Okay, thank you. Seeing no other hands, this vote is to bring the item back for another vote and discussion. Please vote. I am showing this does not pass. Am I seeing this right? Vice Chair Belknap?
Yeah, you might have to call out the yes votes.
You got member Moss, member Hart, member Hutchings, member Hymus, member Earl, member Klein.
Thank you.
Is it possible to change a vote on a previous one?
I don't believe so.
All
That
right.
motion
Just for-
fails, and